new evidence released in the Kansas mom's case. And, you know, the evidence has come out very slowly in this case. And in most of the cases we cover, you always hear the expression, the police are keeping everything close to the vest. And one of the reasons they do that, of course, is to protect their investigation. And I always say, and I used to say it when I was on the popo, the media can be your best friend or your worst enemy. And usually we looked at them as our worst enemy because they would reveal things that we didn't want revealed earlier than we wanted them revealed. So you notice across this nation, police departments, and especially the FBI, their lips are sealed for a long time till they have to release information. Rock Chalk, what do you think?
Well, you know, that is one thing that did bother me. I personally never saw a news release from the police department from the get-go. And that really did kind of bother me. I believe in keeping things at the best. I do believe in that. But also, I also believe in that sometimes you got to let a little bit of stuff out of what's going on. But the biggest thing, my biggest problem right now with this whole case is I think the DA needs to step up and work for these families too. I don't think they should be finding out things from me and you that we're getting off, you know, the internet and stuff. I think the DA needs to be letting these families, at least giving them a little respect. I'm sorry I'm going there with you, but they are victims, the parents and the husband. I think they should know everything before we know anything. And I'm a firm believer of that.
No, I agree with you. And the families should absolutely not be finding out things from the press, from the media. They need to be plugged in.
Yeah.
And
I want to tell you this too. I actually did it when the one was released from the Oklahomian. I did a FOIA and I got all the paperwork. And before I wouldn't even cover it on my live, I got the mom, the dad, the aunt, everybody's email. And I sent the paperwork myself off the FOIA request and made sure they got
Rock Chalk, I love the way you said it was a FOIA. We would say it's a foil with an L. You said Freedom of Information Act. We say Freedom of Information Law, but that's funny. I knew immediately what you were talking about.
Yeah. But I went to that extent just for the family so they would have it, so they wouldn't see me or you or somebody else. Like I feel like the families have been through enough and they should be put up front foremost.
100%. Let me play this so also some new arrivals get the idea what we're talking about.
News comes as the affidavits containing details of the case of the two Kansas women missing in Oklahoma have been unsealed. Just hours ago, investigators gave an update on the case of Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly, who they now say were murdered. Our own Max Dutton has been in the area today and got the affidavits from the courthouse in Texas County, Oklahoma, and reports back to us now on what he's learned. Max?
Yeah, and Lane, this shows you just how desolate this area is. We're here about 5 miles away from where that accident first took place. This is known as the Four Corners area. Now, Jillian Kelly, Veronica Butler were supposed to meet here at 10 a.m., but they did not make it there. Their vehicle was found about 5 miles north of where we're at right now. The signal is so bad out here that we actually had to move because we had SOS phone signal. Now, this affidavit has a lot to break down here, so stick with me on what we're taking away here. Now, Butler was in a custody battle with Tiffany Adams. Tiffany Adams is the grandmother of Butler's ex-husband, Wrangler Rickman. So they're in a custody battle, and Butler had a normal supervisor she's preferred. Her name is Cheryl Brune. She was unavailable, so she contacted Kelly to do the supervising. That's what that relationship was developed. Brune later then said she was available to supervise, but Adams told her to take a couple weeks off. An interesting note there. Now, Butler told Adams, as we said, 10 a.m. they were going to meet right here. Police did not find the car here. They actually were contacted by family members after they found the car those 5 miles away, as we mentioned. They found evidence of severe injury, blood on the roadway, Butler's glasses in the roadway, a broken hammer, and a pistol magazine, all found. That was found in Kelly's purse, but not the pistol itself. So clear evidence of a crime right off the bat. Now, OSBI interviewed the daughter of Cora Twombly. She's referred to as CW in this affidavit. Now, CW is 16 years old, said she believed Adams, Cole, and Paul Grice were involved in the deaths and that Adams had provided burner phones. CW said The group was involved in an anti-government group here in the area called God's Misfits. They actually had regular meetings at the Twombly's. Now, Cora and Cole came back from the day of the murder at 12 o'clock. This is 2 hours after they were supposed to meet at this location. Cora and Cole Twombly told CW, that their daughter, to clean the truck and that she did not have to worry about Veronica Butler ever again. Now, before that, Cora and Cole actually blocked the road to divert Butler and Kelly to where Adams, Colum, and Grice were. That's when the murder happened. So they were supposed to be at this location where we're live currently. They were then diverted to Adams. That's when the murder takes place. CW also confirmed with the OSBI that an attempt to kill Butler happened in February of 2024 in Hugoton, but Butler did not leave a house. A previous attempt to kill Butler happened back in February of 2024, just months ago. Now, Adams, also through the affidavit, we learned she bought 3 prepaid cell phones from the Walmart on February 13th in Guyman, Oklahoma. All 3 of those phones were pinged in the area where the car was located, then turned off and turned back near a dam 8.5 miles away. They found that dam just 8.5 miles away, as we mentioned, from the location of the cars. The dam had been dug into, they had hay, and that's the last spot those phones were pinged. All of this evidence that we just brought you up from the affidavit is why these 4 arrests were made. These 4 people were charged with murder, among other charges. Now, we were at a press conference earlier this morning. Here's what other law enforcement officials had to say.
From the get-go, once we arrived on scene, that and we gained a little bit of information that we felt this wasn't a random deal. All right, we felt that with some of the information coming in that it was more targeted, and we started to look in those areas that we were pointed to.
And now we asked OSBI today as well if they could confirm that those 2 bodies were Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly. They said they still cannot confirm that, but they did confirm both of those women are now dead. They have confirmed that. We're still waiting to hear when those identifications will happen. Wayne.
That was a damn good report. He gave a really good synopsis of that, even though this is dated because we know a lot of the information, but people that are just tuning in, that is a synopsis, except they didn't list in this synopsis because it was a while ago. Paul Grice was the 5th suspect who was arrested because initially they didn't have enough evidence to charge him, and then they had enough evidence, and there's 5 people. We could call them the Okie 5 who are being charged with murder in the 1st degree, kidnapping in the 1st degree, and I'm sure numerous other charges, and they are eligible for the death penalty. Rock chalk.
Yeah, you know, that news reporter is actually from Wichita, and he's a friend of mine.
He was good. He's good.
Yeah.
Young news reporter, but quite good at his job, you know, because I always like it when they get right to the point, you know, and some news stations don't. They beat around the bush, and you know, but that was well done, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was great. That was of course after the fact, but I don't know. I think OSBI was on the scene immediately. I do believe that there was an OSBI agent that has the same last name as that sheriff officer. So I think they were immediately on scene. I think everybody kind of hooned in on that car. I don't think anybody had to call OSBI in. I'm finding running down the track right now that seems like OSBI, like I said, is maybe the brother to that sheriff. So they were there immediately.